Alright guys, this one will probably be the last video, or maybe the second to last video. Rewrite the quadratic function into vertex form. For both of these, we're giving equations in standard form. So remember, on the very first page, we talked about how do you turn something from standard form into vertex form. We've got to figure out what h is first, and we do so by using this negative b over 2a. Once you know what h is, you plug it in and solve for k. So in this case, I need to identify my a, which is 2, my b, which is 4. Not that I need to know it, but our c is negative 1. But h, I'm going to put negative 4 over 2 times 2, and I get negative 4 over 4, or negative 1. So I know my h value. I know the first part of my vertex form, which is the h value. I need to figure out my k, and I do so by putting wherever there's an x, a negative 1 instead, and then simplifying. In this case here, I get 2 times 1. I get a minus 4 minus 1, 2 minus 4 minus 1, and then I get negative 2 to a negative 3. So simplifying it kind of quickly, some of it just in my head. All right, but that's our k value. So I know that my vertex then is negative 1 comma negative 3. If I want to put that into my form of a vertex form, which is a times x minus h squared plus k, I do need to know my a value, which I actually already know my a. We already even wrote it down over here. I need to know my h, I need to know my k, but we just found those things out. Oops. Let's plug this in. A is 2. X, I'm going to do minus my h value. So think about this real quick. This is minus a negative 1, but this will turn into a plus 1, and I'll just simplify that on the next step. And this says k, not 6. Our k value is negative 3, so I'll put a minus 3. Just to clean this up, my final answer is right there. Okay, let's do 18 together. Again, you need to know your a and you need to know your b, because we're solving for h first. H is negative b over 2a, okay? That's my a. This is my b, so I'm going to put negative 12 over 2 times 3. I get positive 12 over 9. Let's double check that that's... Oh, wait, let's backtrack. This should not be a 3. This should be a 2, so then I get a 6. And then this would simplify to 2. So, yes, you will get your h value to not be a nice number, but if you are starting to get a not nice number, then double check that you didn't just make a simple mistake like we did. Okay, so I know my h. All right, I need to find k. I'm going to switch out my x values for my my h value. So anywhere there is an x, I will replace it with 2. All right, in this case, when I start to simplify, I get a 3 times 4 minus 24 plus 4, 12 minus 24 plus 4, and then I get negative 12 plus 4, or negative 8, and that actually is my k value. So my vertex, not that it's specifically asking me here, is 2 comma negative 8. So if I put that into my vertex form, it's going to be f of x is equal to a. Well, we know our a is actually 3. X, remember, it's x minus h, so it looks like a negative 2, and then I get another minus 8 there. All right, let's move on to a problem like 26 and 27. Writing a quadratic function in vertex form that has the given vertex and it passes through the given point. So let's go through some of these. Let's start with number 12. Okay, what we need to kind of use is that this is my h, this is my k, and I will have to replace my x and my y here because we're going to need to figure out what a is equal to. All right. So remember, vertex form, which is what we're trying to get to, is this. All right. I really want to figure out what a is. So normally I don't want, normally I want to keep my y and my x as y and as x. But in this case, I'm going to use 7 for my y. A I don't know. -7 for my x. And then minus a -4 squared plus, or actually a -2 since this is a -2. So let's simplify that up a bit. 7 is equal to a times -7 plus 4 squared minus 2. -7 plus 4 is -3. We will square that next. 7 is equal to 9a minus 2. We will add 2 to both sides to get rid of those 2's, and I get 9a is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 9 to figure out that a is actually equal to 1. So now that I know my a, I already knew my h, I already knew my k. Let's put that all together. I can put the 1 there. If you don't put it there, it's fine. Here, using that my h was -4, it's going to be a minus a -4, which makes it plus 4. Square that, and then minus 2. All right, let's try another one. And then I'll leave the other ones for you guys just to do if you want to practice. Let's just do 15 since it's kind of conveniently there. Just a few things to note. My h is 8. My k is 1. But I don't know my a yet. All right, so we're going to have to use this and this temporarily as an x and y. So we're using it in this form here. Where I will replace the h and the k, the y and the x. All right, so I'm going to replace the y in this case with 3, the x with 10, minus 8, square that, and then add a positive 1. We're going to solve for a, so all I'm doing here, and if I might go a little bit quicker than you would, all I'm doing right now is simplifying. So 10 minus 8 is 2. So I'll just put it like this. 2, but I will square it. And when I square 2, I get 4, put the a behind. Subtract both sides by 1. And I get 2 is equal to 4a. Divide both sides by 4. And I get a is equal to 2/4 or 1/2. Put that back in with what I already knew about h and k. I get y is equal to 1/2 for my a, x minus 8, square that, and then add 1. Okay? And then the last bit of problems. All right? Using the given characteristics, write your final answer in standard form. Okay, so remember that should be the something x squared plus something x plus your constant. All right, let's do these 2 examples here. And what we want to use is your factored form or your intercept form. Remember, that's the y is equal to a times x minus p times x minus q. All right, they are telling you your a, your p, and your q, so we're just going to write those things in. And then expand. So the a, they're telling you it's 2. We don't know x, which is fine because I want to leave x in there. My p, it doesn't matter which one you make p or q. Since the 2 came first, I'll just put in, and remember there's a minus, I'll just put a 2 in. And then there's another x minus, and then since q is actually negative, this will make it positive. So let me just rewrite that so it's x plus 1. And we had problems like this on the last test where we just have to multiply all these 3 things together. So it's up to you whether you want to do these 2 first or these 2 first, or if for some reason someone wanted to do these 2 together first. Okay. I will just do the first 2, just kind of go down in order and get a 2x minus 4. Keep in mind I want to leave these in parentheses and then multiply it by x plus 1 again, or multiply by x plus 1 period. And then I get 2x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 4. When I simplify that, I get 2x squared minus 2x minus 4, and that will be your final answer. Okay, we'll do one more just so you guys can see it. Again, I want it in this, start in this form since I already know two intercepts. All right, so let me replace the A, the P, and the Q. I'll replace P with -5, but there's already a minus, so this will be a +5. And go ahead and start multiplying. I get 4x plus 20 times x minus 6. And then I've got a 4x squared minus 24x plus 20x minus 120. Combine your like terms, and you get the following. And that will be your equation. Okay, so a lot of these problems I did go rather quick, so you guys can always pause it, slow it down, or come in and ask me for help. But I happy to help you guys more when you need. Just come on in and get the help.